Hey guys, Wild Willie here. The sun is shining, the birds are singing, the children are playing, all done school. Well, maybe not in my neighborhood. My house is blacked out. Why? And the town is pretty much shut down because there is an extreme heat situation going on here. The temperatures forecasted just for my area alone are 48 Celsius, about 115 Fahrenheit. And that's what they forecast. So I can add another 5 to 7 degrees on top of that because I'm nowhere near large bodies of water. And no shade, no nothing around my house. The sun beats down on us. So we're looking at probably around 125 maybe Fahrenheit, maybe 53, 54 Celsius. So I'm prepping for an extreme heat emergency and we might even lose power. So I'm going to show you what I've done. All right, guys, let's start with the curtains. All my windows, whether it be this big bay window, whether it be my patio door window going outside, all my major windows, bedroom windows, they face south. And like I said, I have no shade whatsoever back there. So I got to take drastic steps. These windows, if I took temp on these curtains, even though they're sun blocking curtains, they would be only a couple degrees cooler than what the outside is. The sun beats through there so bad. So this part I've showed you guys 100 times and I'm a firm believer in it. Whether you buy dollar store ones or whether you buy these Coghlan reusable ones, emergency blankets, Mylar blankets. They block out 98% of the heat. Guys, they're phenomenal. They're the best thing I ever did. I keep them up all summer. The reason being is they work so great. I have mine on these bigger windows. I put little tiny nails in each corner and then I hang them down that way. But you can use painter's tape. That's what I do for the ones upstairs. The painter's tape's a good thing. It doesn't mark up your walls. Hang them up on the really hot days and forget about them. Another option, guys, is I use is the poor man's air conditioner. For those of you who haven't used this or seen this before, they're relatively easy to make. You can get coolers at garage sales or whatever. Mine, I got it set up so it runs off a power pack for about 12 hours at a time. The premise is simple, guys. Basically, there's a fan stuck into the side of it. You put your ice, or I use frozen water bottles, Frozen water bottles go in here. I let it sit, then I turn on the power pack. The fan blows the cold air, blows it out here. This will blow with 2 or 3 4-liter water bottles frozen. This will blow at about 65 degrees coming out of here. So it's a great option if you don't have AC of any sort, or in a prepping situation where you need AC. This can go with you into a small room lower down in the house or in a tent or something like that if you had to set up your tent in your basement or even outside, and this will keep you cold for a few hours anyways. Mind you, there's you get the moisture, you get the humidity that comes off the ice when it melts or the bottles when they melt, but I'd rather be cool and damp than hot and sticky. Another option, guys, is the cooking option. Don't mind my mess in the kitchen. The cooking option, do not cook. Simple enough. A couple times in heat waves, I've come home and there's a lasagna in my oven, and there's no need to be. The hot weather, prepare your meals the day before, or plan on eating cold or out of a can that day. Do not turn on your fridge or your oven. Do not turn on your stovetop. Keep the heat to a minimum. Lighting, guys. All my bulbs in here are those LED, but they're cold touch LED, so they produce zero heat. Because my windows are so blocked out downstairs, it is just essential that I have lighting on, obviously, in here you won't see. So I have it lit up like a Christmas tree, especially when my little guy's around to play with so he can see what he's doing. But none of my bulbs produce heat. I will not use any bulbs that produce heat because that just adds to the fire. The temperature, guys, is sitting at, I didn't see that, 70 degrees. So my air is not on. My air, I set it down to 69 at night before I go to bed. I get it 69 to 70 all night. Excuse me. And then in a little while, I'll jack this up to 72 or something. I can probably just do that right now. And I promise that this will not go on till about 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. In the middle of the hottest time of the day, this will eventually kick on, but I won't have to touch it until then because of the steps I'm taking right now. Another one, guys, just outside is a good idea. If you have a way to keep your AC out of the sun, patio umbrella, whatever, just to keep the sun off it, it'll run more efficiently, it'll run a lot cooler, and it won't have to work as hard. Another step, guys, this is my basement. These doors aren't the greatest, they're just hollow core doors, but there's a small space underneath. So that means cold air sinks, hot air rises. I don't need to keep the basement as cold as I want the main living area. Your basement, if you have an in-ground basement that's below ground level, it's going to stay winter or summer. It'll stay around the 73-degree mark. It won't change it. That's why when we talk about in cold weather survival in the house when the power goes out, necessarily upstairs the highest point in the house isn't the best because the basement will stay that consistent 73 degrees. Anyways, I just throw blankets underneath the door. I want the cold air trapped in this room. I don't want it going downstairs to the lower part of the basement. I want it in the main living area. That being said, that the colder it stays up here, the less the air, the thermostat's going to trigger, and the less the air is going to be running. So let's go take a look upstairs. You'll see, guys, the bedrooms, south-facing bedrooms, blacked right out. You'll see here my son's room, a little more, just one emergency thermal blanket. I use painter's tape on the side to keep the side shut, but that's all it takes. Room will be nice and cool to sleep. Even in one of the master bedrooms, this is just quick rash job. These are the dollar store emergency blankets. They do just as well. I don't get a lot of action in the sun as far as sun just in the morning here because they're north facing, but they'll do the trick. Cover the windows up. That one rips, so I just jimmied it. I mean, for a buck a blanket, even if you only had them used them once during a power outage and a heat wave, they're great to use because, guys, with all this power being used, people keeping their houses cool, people running using extra energy, the possibility of brownouts or blackouts are great. And the worst thing you want to be stuck, or I want to be dealing with today, is a heat wave of 125 degrees Fahrenheit outside and no way to keep myself cool. So these are just a few things you can do, guys. There's plenty of others, but the important thing is to keep hydrated, keep lots of cold water on hand the night before, freeze those water bottles. Stay put, no activity, no cutting the grass, no nothing. I'm going to hibernate today. Literally sit there and play on my phone and listen to the radio. I won't even use my TV because it's got warm mode. It produces so much heat. Anyways, guys, I'm Wild Willie. Thanks for watching. Remember, it's not a question if the shit's going to hit the fan. It's a question of when, so always be prepared.